Hi, everyone. It is Angela, and you are listening to Divinely Connected. I am here with your weekly forecast for Sunday, November 12th through to Saturday, November 18th. Now, let's get to it, see what's going on. All right, so we do have a little bit of resistance coming in. I don't even know if it's resistance. I think it's just straight up fear. There seems to be a little bit of hesitation around changes. Now, what's so interesting is that it does feel like they're wanted changes, right? And so it's not the fact that we are fearful of changes coming in that maybe we're not ready for or they're not what we're wanting. This does feel very much in alignment with what you want. It feels very much goal oriented for you. Okay. And so there needs to be a little bit of time and awareness brought into this. Where is this feeling coming from? What is this kind of resistance or this doubt or this nervousness telling you? Right. And so, of course, as we embrace changes and we go down a new path, yeah, there's some vulnerability. Yeah, there's some uncertainty. There's some changes um that are coming in, but I don't think that it's to the place where we should be fearful, right? And so that's very indicating of what is within my body that's making me feel unsafe, right? And when you kind of show yourself that compassion and you kind of do that soul searching and that evaluation, you're able to kind of get to that core so that you're creating um, a stronger foundation under you. Every time that we go and we hit those limiting beliefs, or we go in and instead of fleeing from these emotions, we ask ourselves, where is this emotion coming from? What inside of me is being triggered for this to arise? It is a learning opportunity and a healing opportunity. So when this discomfort comes in, it doesn't mean that you're no good. It doesn't mean that you're underqualified. It doesn't mean that it's the wrong way. It means there's something here that's striking a nerve, and it's an opportunity where you can learn about yourself, grow, and heal. And so oftentimes when you shine that light onto whatever it is that's making us scared or feeling less than or feeling vulnerable about, um it takes the scariness away, right? Because then when you say it out loud, well, I don't think that I'm good enough. I don't think I'm qualified. Well, what are your qualifications? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, so I guess I am qualified, right? And so it's just a really great way for you to challenge what you're feeling and to remind yourself just because you're feeling underqualified or less than doesn't actually mean that you're underqualified or less than. And I think that's really empowering. I think that it's one thing to have the feelings. The feelings are normal, right? Of course, I don't think I have ever met anybody who wasn't nervous about doing something new or walking in a new role or going in a new direction. But there is so many people who will then allow that emotion to prevent them from doing it because they will interpret it as something that is not aligned with the truth. And I think that by feeling what you're feeling and then challenging it allows you to have such insight and more control over how you feel moving forward and telling yourself and challenging yourself, reminding yourself of how amazing and capable that you are. Okay. I think that it's really important for you guys as well to know coming in this week, there does seem to be a little bit of the scarcity coming in again. But the scarcity isn't coming in the sense of finances. I know that we've been talking a lot about financial scarcity, especially with the inflation that is going on. But it almost feels like I don't have enough time. I don't have enough mental power. I don't have enough sleep. I don't have a. So there's this feeling of like, okay, what can we do about that? Where can we bring in helpers? Where can we bring in the connections, the partnerships? What can I delegate? How can I, we can't make more hours in the day, but how can I best utilize what I have? Right. And prioritizing is number one. Do what needs to be done, delegate the rest, or just take it off the list. Right. And so there's this feeling of when scarcity, no matter how it's creeping in, will spread like wildfire, right? And so if we're feeling like, oh, I don't have enough time. And then now it's like, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough friends. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough intelligence. Right. And it just will snowball like crazy. So it's always really important for us to kind of catch us. And going back to that very first message that came in is feel what you're feeling and then challenge it. Right. And so maybe you don't have enough time. Maybe your expectations of what you can do in a allotted amount of time is not aligned with reality. So it's not that you're not good enough. It's not that there's not enough time. You're just expecting way too much from yourself. So, what can we do? Let's have realistic expectations. Let's have realistic goals. So, you're not feeling like you're constantly failing and constantly falling behind because that is no fun for anyone. That's not fun for you. That's not fun for people that you're around, right? And so it is really important for that is something that is a really wonderful way of showing self-compassion is giving you time, giving you an allowance of flexibility or wiggle room, right? I think that is so realistic of you so that you can move forward efficiently. Okay. There's also this feeling of, it feels like, again, fear of scarcity, fear of lost opportunities, feeling like you missed your chance, feeling like you missed the boat, however that comes in. And it's like this feeling of, but you didn't, right? And I know that we've talked about it, and I feel like this hasn't been that long ago where spirit was like, what is yours is already yours. So if it wasn't an opportunity that came your way, it was never for you. Right. And I think that's important to understand that you're not going to miss your purpose. You're not going to miss your calling. You're not going to miss your lover, right? As long as you're living in a conscious life, meaning like you don't have your head in the sand and just waiting for time to pass, right? And if you're following me on this page, you probably do not fall under that category, which means that you have self-awareness. You have the want to grow and expand and to learn and to better yourself, right? And so if it wasn't an opportunity that came to you, then it wasn't your opportunity to have. That doesn't mean that it doesn't sting, right? And that there may be an adjustment just because I am seeing kind of just some hurt feelings coming in and maybe the needing to walk away and the maybe the needing to kind of reevaluate, right? And so thinking of it as a new opportunity, it may not be the new opportunity that you were expecting, but an opportunity for you to move forward in a different way, an opportunity for you to look at things differently, to be able to step back and go, okay, hang on, let me reassess. If this wasn't the path, is there must be a better way or there must be a better direction. And being able to look at that. You don't want to be so rigid in yourself that you're not willing to take the steps. And when this sense of, dare I say, rejection comes in, it either can fuel you to move you forward, understanding that a rejection is never a reflection of you. It is a reflection of an opportunity that wasn't met for you. Therefore, let's just reassess and go somewhere else, right? What do we want to do? We want to go in a different direction. This is either going to, one, make you stagnant and almost paralyze you. Therefore, there's that rigidness and that unwillingness to move forward, reassess, look again, or it can fuel you. And it may be both. Maybe you're going to take a day or two and you're going to let yourself have those big emotions. Nothing wrong with that. Just don't get stuck in it, right? And don't believe everything that you're thinking because we love to tell ourselves really big stories when things don't go the way that we wanted them to and when things don't go the way that we think that they should. We got big stories and we got finger pointing, right? And so feel what it is that you're feeling, but don't let this derail you. Don't let this discourage you from moving forward at all, right? Because forward motion is where you're meant to go. And there's so much more for you because they're almost saying like, oh, I wanted to go that way, but it's like, it looks like an alleyway. So that's either going to be a shortcut or it means that it was the lesser of the two because I could see the path here and the path is full of flowers. It's like, so to me, it's like, oh, we could have went in this dark alleyway path, or we could have went this path, which looks so lush. Like they're showing it as like a walkway with nice green tall grass and flowers and sunshine, right? We wanted to go into the dark, scary alleyway. Like, what? Right? And so again, we think, oh, just because I think that this is what I should have do or what I wanted to do, that it had to be right. But if that was a dark alleyway that was scary and wasn't for you, and we have this beautiful path that is lit by the sun and there's beautiful flowers showing the abundance and the love and the welcomingness, wouldn't we want to walk that way? And so I think that it's important for us to understand that whenever something doesn't work out for us, it is for us, right? And it doesn't mean that you're less than, it doesn't mean that you're being punished. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough. That's not never what it means, right? And so using it as an opportunity, going, oh, there must be a better path for me. There must be a better way for me. And when you have that belief and knowing that life is always working for you and not against you, when the no's come, you're okay with it because it wasn't yours anyways. I'm going to go that way. Okay. There's also this feeling of a lot of hope coming in. Now, there does seem to be a little bit of a hang up because we're kind of going into this no closure type of energy. And so, again, even especially with this previous message, do not let it make you stuck. Do not allow it to hold you in that space, right? Needing to have the validations, needing to have the closure that may never come. Right? We are responsible for our own closure. We are responsible to get us where we need to go. Relationships dissolving, people departing, jobs wrapping up or dissolving as well. We often need to have a big reason and we have to approve of the reason. We have to understand. And that to us allows us to think that we have control. It allows us to feel control and therefore we feel safe. But the truth of the matter is that you create the closure for yourself, no matter what the situation is. And even if there was an opportunity where we were able to be heard or we were able to say what it is that we need to say, doesn't mean that that's going to give you closure. We assume it's going to give you closure because you feel as though you're going to have that opportunity where you're going to walk away from that experience feeling heard, right? That doesn't mean it. How many people have I know everyone can relate or think of someone right now where they wanted to be able to have this sit down and kind of lay it out all on the table, except for they would never be able to show up for you in the ways that you need it. They would never be able to validate or to understand or have the emotional maturity to show up in the ways that you needed so that you feel validated, have your closure and feeling heard. So just because that's what we want doesn't mean that's what we're going to get. And even if you have the opportunity to have that sit down conversation, it doesn't mean that that's what you're going to walk away with. So you have the power for yourself to create the closure. You have the power for yourself to create the feeling and remind yourself that if they don't see your value, it doesn't mean you're not valuable. If they do not see your value, shame on them. So sorry for them. Off to find someone a better place that reflects the light that you are. And I think that that is so powerful. And we don't need to convince them that we're good. And we don't need to convince them that we're valuable or to make them see the way that we see. Some people just will never. And that's okay. Don't hang up your closure. Don't hang up your ability to move forward giving them the power. Don't give that power to them because they aren't worthy of it. All right. I'm going to leave that with you. It looks like it's a week where there's some ups and downs energetically. I feel like actual tangible experiences are pretty even keel, but because the emotions are very up and down, that you may have some difficulty. There may be some heated words. There may be some high irritations. There may be some spicy comebacks. Just because I feel like energy wise, especially with emotions, are very unsettled this week. If we're talking about big things that we can go, oh, this happened. No, I think that there's just unsettled energy. Therefore, there's going to be unsettled exchanges and sleep patterns and emotional regulation. So, if you can avoid people, this would be a good week to do so. Don't forget to come back next Sunday for your weekly guidance. And every weekday, I will be here with your daily messages.